This is Blue's Clues. And this episode of Blue's Clues, it involves a pride parade. This is from the Post Millennial, and this is what they had to say in their tweet. Blue's Clues hosts pride parade targeting children with sing-along drag queen and gay, transgender, and non-binary animals. Friends, we're looking at a full-fledged financial crisis in this country. Inflation is back with a vengeance, and it's gonna get worse. The price of food, if you can find any, will soon be through the roof. That's why the smart thing to do is to buy a long-term storage emergency food, and you can rely on it whenever things go bad. That's why I recommend My Patriot Supply. They're America's #1 preparedness company, and they've served millions of customers like you. Their mission is your survival, and their food costs just a few bucks per meal. It's delicious too, and they stay fresh for up to 25 years. Get some now, and you'll never have to panic if something bad happens. You'll be fully prepared. Your food arrives quickly and discreetly at your doorsteps, and it comes in a money-back guarantee. Go to preparewithnatly.com right now and save $50 on a 4-week food kit while you still can. That's preparewithnatly.com. Muchachos y muchachas, look, I don't think I have to tell you. I think you already know that there's a big war on kids right now. And I think even as recent as lately, it's just intensified that much more. Maybe you can concur, but yesterday, my feed was just filled with a bunch of things that just really blew my mind that were all about sexualizing kids. I mean, these were pieces that were exposing what's going on. And, for whatever reason, I just feel that it's important to create just a highlight video of some of these things. Now, a lot of it will have to do with direct sexualization of children through programs or through education. And then another part is also through Pride. As you guys know, the Pride is coming up. June is Pride Month. And, a lot of these corporations, they don't even care about whatever. They just want to make money. So they'll brand everything and, even infiltrate the likes of child clothing, child toys. And, it's alarming that this is happening in the likes of Target and the lines of several other things, as well as cartoons. I'm going to show you all this. Let's start off with some blurring of the lines. So I think that this is something that's a topic that is not popular with progressive liberals, to be specific, or even those that are moderates in the middle. There's this blurred idea that, it's okay for kids to express themselves and that this is art. And I think that when you call something art or expressing themselves, there's a big blurred line. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to start off with this. Arkansas fitness studio faces backlash for kids' pole dancing class. So if you guys know what pole dancing is, it's this sort of this new fitness industry where, adults, mostly women, they sign up for these pole dancing classes and they learn how to swing a pole and things like that. And if you guys don't already know, pole dancing originates from strip clubs. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. It comes from strip clubs, and, that's more of like a sexual entertainment. People always try to blur the lines, say, no, it's not. It's like, it's not. It's a form of sexual entertainment. So when you're inviting kids to the likes of something like this, you are intentionally opening the gateways to child exploitation and child sexualization. And this is coming from the KAIT Region 8 News. fitness studio in Paragould is facing backlash from the community regarding its Future Poles for Kids program. The program, hosted by Vixen's Fitness, was able to be a pole dancing class for mothers and their children to attend together, but many called out the program as disgusting and hypersexualizing children. KATV content partner KAIT Region 8 News reports that the studio was since pulled its Facebook page, allowing the pushback. Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge said that her office was alerted of the posting on Tuesday, shortly after an agent with her cyber crimes unit called the owner Miranda Ogles and discussed the possible repercussions of this class. So, look, if you are a mother and you're cool with this, like you're cool with putting your kid in some sort of pole dancing class, like where is your head at? Like, I look. This makes me, this angers me because, you know, progressive liberals will do this thing where they use their kids as these, like, they live through their kids through these progressive virtue signaling of soapboxes. And so they'll do these things through their kids where they're like, oh, it's just expression, or, oh, they can do whatever they want. They're, you know, it's their truth. And it's like, you moms, like, do you realize that these kids, they don't have a fully developed brain? Like, what that means is that they cannot process these decisions or separate, you know, what's imaginative from what's reality, because they're children. You know, they have imaginary friends. They pretend they're animals and, you know, these imaginary things. And it's like, they're not there. Like, they can't make these decisions in their head. So you've got to train them up in what is reality. And look, when they become adults, full-fledged adults, and they want to make those decisions, you know, we can't control everybody. Then they're in adulthood and they're making those decisions. Now, I might not agree with these decisions, but hey, they're adults and they're going to do it anyway. But I'm just saying, like, when you put it down to kids and allowing these lines to be blurred, you as a parent have a responsibility to train them up the right way, giving them the truth. But when you're a mom and you're willing to pay for stuff like this, like putting them in pole dancing classes, you are willfully entering your child into a child exploitative environment. So then it goes into the Attorney General being contacted, and it says that the Attorney General says that when a child is harmed, it's usually by someone in their life in one way or the other, and hosting a class like that could possibly open the door for predators. And look, this is the thing too, like these progressive liberals who do this, or, you know, even it's progressive liberalism, because I even know like some conservatives that are like, you know, or middle of the road people who are like, oh, it's okay. And it's not okay. It's like they don't think about these consequences, or they don't think about these scenarios where it is absolutely true. You know, when a child is being trafficked, for instance, it's more likely, if they're a child, it's more likely by their own family or by members that are closer to them, like family, friends. And so, you know, if they're in these classes, it's like you have no idea the sort of line that you're blurring. So, you know, she contacted, or her team rather contacted, the owner. And this is an interesting quote here. Megan Brown, the co-founder of Hope Forward of Northeast Arkansas, a nonprofit group devoted to fighting human trafficking, says any program that encourages children to pole dance puts them in potential harm's way. And this is true. Let me tell you something. These predators online, they scrounge the depths of the dark web for content like this. So when you're enriching and enabling your child to think that this is normal or okay, you are doing so much harm to them, and you're opening them up for predators. This is the poster here. Poles for kids. Pole for kids. And then you have a little girl straddling a pole, wrapping her body around it, smiling, and then it gives you a membership price. And mothers will willingly do this. Continued, it says it objectifies them, Brown said, and the hypersexualization is so closely related and intertwined with child exploitation and sex trafficking. Another concern from the community regarding the class is that the owner of the studio has a personal relationship with 𝘕𝘂𝐿, get this, who was arrested in January for charges of possessing child pornography. So again, these shop your mother, and you're thinking this is okay, this is just art, this is just expressing themselves, when you're not thinking about external consequences or potential harmful consequences that are already embedded in that situation, like a dude who was already arrested for child sexual exploitation, who is connected to this pole studio. So it's like things like this, who you could never think of, these situations, but they're actually happening. So she received a lot of backlash, and rightfully so. You should receive a lot of this backlash. I'm going to go into this too. This sort of ties in. Dalton parents enraged. This is from the New York Post over masturbation videos of first graders. In this school, they pay $55,000 tuition for this school, and there is a teacher there who is teaching sex ed in which involves masturbation to 6-year-olds. And there's a video that is attached to this curriculum. I'm going to just link this article, and the article contains a video. I'm going to just link it. And on your own, you can go watch this video. It is quite disturbing. I was not expecting the things that I heard out of this video. It is horrendously horrifying what they are trying to do to open the kids up to. So parents, they complained to the school administrators, but were told that they simply had misinterpreted Dalton's now notorious health and wellness educator, Justine Ng Fonte, who last month led a controversial and explicit porn literacy workshop at another elite prep school. So she's intentionally trying to indoctrinate kids on like sexual education, but it's like opening up kids to sexual nature. That's not sexual education. That's grooming, for crying out loud. So after the Post expose last week on the porn class, excuse me, my nose itches, Dalton parents bombarded the school with more complaints about Fonte's curriculum, sources told the Post. The Post viewed a video of the cartoon Fonte used in one of her sex ed classes to 6-year-olds, showing the little kids talking about touching themselves for pleasure. Again, this video, I was not expecting the things that I heard come out this video. I mean, I was disturbed when I started hearing the little girl voice talking about touching herself, and then the teacher voice saying like, you know, yeah, you can do that, and it makes you feel good, and you should do it in private and stuff like that. Mine is blown. This is a quote from the video. Hey, how come sometimes my P word gets big sometimes? And this is a little boy saying this in the video, a little boy cartoon saying, how come sometimes when my P gets big, sometimes in points in the air? Asks the little boy in the cartoon, leading an explanation of what an erection is. The boy nods and says, sometimes I touch my P because it feels good. And then a little girl says in the video, sometimes when I'm in my bath or when my mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my V. I'm telling you, this stuff is mind-blowingly disturbing, and they are trying it. They're trying to put it in the education. These parents, this is a private school. They pay it a tuition, and their children are being indoctrinated this way. So again, I'm gonna drop this link to this article in my description. You do this on your own time if you want to watch that video. I mean, it's disturbing, but it's important to see what they're trying to teach your kids. Yeah, I just zoomed past to one of the diagrams that was in there. So just hypersexualizing of kids. And this brings me to this next point of pride. So as we are entering into the month of June, as you guys know, pride is always a big marketing scheme for these big corporations. And, it's funny because I've actually had a conversation with one of my gay friends about this, like a few years ago, about pride. And, it's like, even people who are not necessarily like conservative or anything, like even sometimes these LGBT community people will mention this, that they notice that these corporations only come out during Pride, where they'll mark orange juice, and like all these little candies and all these things with the rainbow flag. And it's like they're just trying to make bucks. They're just trying to make money off your backs. And that's the very thing. But at the same time, they're also trying to indoctrinate our youth. So I'm going to actually start off with this. This is a blog that's actually celebrating this, but I'm going to take big dumps over it because it's just is weird. Like, it's weird that they're trying to, like, they're branding kids' clothing and toys with this. Like, kids shouldn't even be open to sexuality at all. They have basic things that they're learning, like reading, writing, social skills, like basic social skills, not the social that we're, seeing nowadays, but just basic social skills, basic learning skills, like that. This is what the kids should be concentrated on, but they're trying to weave this into their education and into their culture. So what you see in front of you is Target. And recently, actually yesterday, my friend sent me a video, her in Target, and she sent me a video of the kids section, and it's like nothing but Pride shirts, nothing but Pride gear. And it's like, again, leave the kids alone. Leave them alone. This is grooming. Look, it says here. Or I'm sorry, it's not saying, but you can see here these clothing branding, for instance, these toddlers, infants, little girls with, all these pride rainbows, pride messages. And it's just like, here you see what seems to be a 2-mom family, floor mats. I'm telling you, like, just absolutely everything under the sun. They're going to brand it with the pride flag. And then you see here, like the toys, these Legos with the intersectional flag. Like, you see the rainbow, that's in the middle, that's the gay pride flag. But the colors at the end, the blue, light blue, white, pink, like that's the trans flag. And then at the other end, that's the intersectional flag where, they involve BLM. So I say this because it was a very confusing thing to learn last year when you saw these marches happening and you saw, BLM, and then you saw trans flags and you saw gay flags. And it was like, I thought y'all were marching for, one cause, racial causes, and then you're infiltrating it with all these other things. And it's like they somehow tied it all together. Yeah, that's called intersectionality. There's a word for it. And that's where you'll hear feminists say, like, they're intersectional feminists, because they're like feminists with all these ideologies, which is very culty, tied into it. So you see it here. They're, going after the toys, going after the clothing, the Play-Doh, all these things, the candies. And they're even going after the cartoons. This is Blue's Clues. And this episode of Blue's Clues, it involves a pride parade. This is from the Post Millennial, and this is what they had to say in their tweet. Blue's Clues hosts Pride Parade targeting children with sing-along drag queen and gay, transgender, and non-binary animals. Why animals need to be all that, I have no idea. I'm not going to play all the song, but it's like, you can see here, I'm going to play it silent. You can see Blue's Clues here. You can see the drag queen. And as I just overviewed in the Lego toy, I pointed out the flag colors for certain things, the gay pride. And then you see all of these other flags being flown. Look at the one on the right that alligator had, it was some like orange. Let me go back. some orange and purple, and I don't even know what, you know? Look at the dress of the drag queen. You see that, how I pointed out those colors where it was the gay pride, and then you see the black, the brown, which is, you know, symbolizing that it's intersectional with the whole Black Lives Matter, or black, you know, just racial, like the racial. And I know this because this is what it said on the flags, like they were flying them in the marches last year. And then at the bottom of her dress, you can see the light pink, the light blue, the whites. That's the trans flag. And then look at this. I see these these gay pride, you know, what seems to be, I don't know what, bears with a little girl, and then you see these little squirrels, and then a Blue's Clues paw with the BLM fist, or I don't know if that's a communist fist or what anymore. I don't even know what it is anymore, because what is it? What does it stand for? But this is what I'm talking about. Like it's they're doing like a people of color. You know, that's with the brown that you see from this flag on this dress, the brown on the dress. You see that? That's the BLM fist. Then you see the trans colors, the light pink, the light blue, the white, and then you see the gay pride flag, you know, surrounding it. It's just like, yo, it's mind blowing. It really is mind blowing how much they're just so fast turning with this whole propaganda. And then you see her mic. Let me it's Michael, you know, whoever this is, the drag queen. Let me go. Here we go. That's, oops. Go back. See that? Like, it's not only on the flags and all the things, like it's on her mic, like the communist fist and all this stuff. Where does this end? I mean, it's just absolute dolphins with all these flags, like, and I don't know what these other flags mean. What, you know, you see that on the right with the yellow, the white, the purple, the gray. There's, I think the reason I don't know, and this I could be wrong, but what I believe this is like the several different genders that they're trying to portray. You know, I don't even know how many now, but there's many genders that they're trying to normalize as there's many genders. And so I believe that each flag would represent, you know, one of these unique genders, but that I could be wrong. I mean, this is what they're trying to make culture of. And look, lines are being blurred, and they're being blurred very fast. And I could never imagine what it is to be a parent nowadays, because you have to micromanage your children in such a way that you have to keep them surveilled, and you have to know who they're talking to, what platforms they're on, what they're watching. Like, it is, I couldn't even imagine, because they are really trying it at different facets, at different angles. They're trying to infiltrate the minds of these children and normalize these taboos. And there's no shame anymore in our culture. So it's like, you know, there's just this open concept of we should just be accepting of everything. And it's like, there are boundaries, and we must declare these boundaries, and we must take back our culture. And this is just exemplifying some of what is trying to be a ward on your children. So look, this video it's just a highlight out there to show you what exactly is out there. And I feel for you guys. Look, I feel for you parents out there, and I'm not a parent myself. I'm just saying, like, I can see the war. I can see the things that are propagandized and what you're standing against. So guys, share this video, especially with parents, and share this video, and like and subscribe to this channel, as I will continue to put my eyes on stuff like this. And look, is a war. It's a war. Like, it's a different type of war right now. And you absolutely must take a stand against this, against the infiltration of your child's education, their minds, their spirits. It's happening, and it's not a good thing to sexualize kids and groom them. So guys, thank you so much for your support for this channel. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you also for keeping me afloat by sending in your donations. You can always do that at natlydenise.com/donate, as well as there are other easy links in the description below. Thank you for your support, and I will catch you guys in the next video.